just shouldn't be doing this, but I'm doing it anyway. Ah. One of the top great things about being human is making sweet, sweet love. I am in a borrowed house. If you will recall, I am living in my vehicle, just hoping to figure out my life in Northern California amidst the world sort of crumbling and the prices of everything going crazy high and everything. So I guess I'm kind of just relaxing into it. I'm like, I already lost everything, and I already opted out of a lot of things that I found to be very toxic and bad for my health. And I went back to the real world, and also just because none of it was going anywhere. Like, it didn't matter how much I worked. It didn't matter how dedicated I was. It didn't matter. It was just like this endless hamster wheel, and I couldn't do it anymore. And I got rewired in nature, and I'm an artist, and I'm just like, no, it can't be like this. And so I've just been out trying to find another way for it to be, and not going crazy and not getting too cold and all that. But, you know, so I know y'all are worried about me. Some people, and including my family, has gone through so many roller coasters with me. I think they just don't even care anymore. They're like, do whatever you want, but just be happy. Because they're tired of worrying about me, you know, being quasi homeless, or what they say, unhoused, unhomed, you know, unhoused, because home is in my heart. And I do have my truck, and I do have like a place to go weekdays. During the day I can use your shower and internet and stuff, and then yeah, at night I'm going to be this week it's going to be raining, so I arranged for myself to stay with a friend. I am so grateful to him, and of course, you know, I know it's like when you just have a studio apartment and you're letting someone crash on your couch, but he lived in his vehicle for many, many years, so he knows what a lifeline that can be and how sane it can make you, especially in cold weather and bad weather. So I accepted his invitation, and he was like, yes, on one condition, that you help fatten me up, because I already started cooking for him for a little bit, and that's one thing that I like to give and to do, and it makes me eat better when I cook for other people, and it makes me put more love into it. It makes the food more special, so everybody benefits. And I'm gonna start today by cooking one of my favorite cold weather comfort foods. It's you guys know on this channel how much I love the pasties here in Nevada City, which came from Cornwall, England. They're a meat pie, a traditional English meat pie with a really nice crust. And so and then when I went to Baltimore last year, I ended up trying to master the chicken pot pie myself, because I love the pasties here so much. They're like a personal pot pie. But this is one of my other second favorite kind of meat pies that I got into. And you guys, I don't know if you remember or know this, but I didn't start eating meat again until after menopause and the pandemic and everything. So, you know, it was a part of a dietary pivot that I did in midlife. And so it's fun to discover cooking meat again. I started eating meat again, I guess, in 2020, 2021, around then. Before, I was eating kind of more of a yoga diet, like pescatarian, vegetarian. I wasn't like vegan. I never like thought that was really good for me, just because also I like the diversity of things. And I think that sometimes that just the absolute pleasure of a thing overrides its total health value, if you know what I mean. So I try to give myself a lot of leeway and, you know, just days I can eat whatever I want and just enjoy it without any shame or guilt, because as I'm getting older, like, that's the main thing. Cut that out. Like, stop feeling bad about shit. Stop taking the edge off your joy, you know, like, let yourself have it. Like, and enjoy it, and it's fine, and you don't have to constantly be like, oh, but I put a little sugar in it, oh god, and oh, I just shouldn't be doing this, but I'm doing it anyway. Like, save your breath. Just enjoy the damn thing. Crying out loud. Anyway, like, yes, I've gained some more weight. I'm gonna work on it, but also I don't care. Like, I'm enjoying, like, as hard as life has been, I'm enjoying as much as I can. So I think I'm doing great, and I think it shows. Anyway, all right, so let's get started making this version of a meat pie. It's actually a recipe from Sauveur magazine, but I just looked it up because I wanted ground beef. And it's a little bit different than a shepherd's pie, but everyone likes it because it's just so simple and plain, but actually amazingly flavorful. We've got 2 pounds of ground beef. We have broccoli rabe, 1 potato, an onion, garlic, and provolone cheese. And that's it. It's so simple and actually really good. And this one in particular is really good cold. It's kind of interesting. So that's another selling point. You know, so I'm trying to batch some food here and make something to bring to Tony's tonight for the start of the our little rainy week together. So here we go. Yeah. Okay, let's not do the same thing here, huh? Wow, good thing I put it in this pan. She's deep. She is deep. Ooh. That's a lot. I think I tried to make it once with like just 1 pound of ground beef and I stretched it with some extra veggies, but this is the better way, obviously. Look how thick this is going to be. I'm just going to get it all smushed down in there. Let's see. Do one of these. And then we're going to try to patch her in. Right. A little bit longer. You know, just trying a little bit here to use up this last little bits. I'm not, you know, I haven't been baking a ton, but just trying to be thoughtful about it. If nothing else, put a little extra zhuzh in. I don't know. Okay.
Folks lawn, L-A-W-N, with shade in the pasture off of a record called God Made the Highway. That is very eclectic, I can tell you. And before...
So I did have this over it like that and it got burnt. So good thing I pulled it out. Yikes. should help some. Okay. The first pie of the season. Looks pretty good. Can you see? The crust was like a little thick on the bottom, but tastes really good. Mmm. Mm-hmm. Mmm. That's very good. I was worried the ground beef would seem dry, but it's really good. Broccoli rabe probably got a little too cooked. I probably put it in too early. It didn't really need to cook beforehand. Mmm. Mm-hmm. That steam coming off. I love how I'm boycotting Christmas, which is like the 10th Christmas special I've watched on YouTube. Okay. There we go. It's like, I just try to be honest with you guys, you know? Like, it's not all great. Like, things aren't all great. And sometimes it goes on being not great for like a while. And would you rather know that? It's like, would you rather know how to dress for the weather? You know, like what to expect? Doesn't it sort of help a little bit? I mean, I just had this happen because I'm trying to quit smoking again, or at least, you know, tell it who's boss again. So I haven't had tobacco in like 10 days. And my friend was like asking me if I was okay, that I seemed a little, whatever, dark. And I was like, yeah, I am. There's plenty of reasons for that. But then I was also like, yeah, and I felt like brittle. I usually feel like pretty like, you know, supple. And I was like, and, oh yeah, I haven't had tobacco. And I was, you know, and then my friend was like, oh, it's going to be like a month. And I was like, oh crap, that's right. Like, I thought I was just like, I'm just going to do this. But I'm like, I know what it takes to quit something. It's like, you really want to be there for yourself. You really want to like be kind and gentle with yourself and sort of understand that you're going through that and give yourself some support. So I haven't been doing that, partly just because the necessity of just, you know, this is what's annoying about living in a vehicle and having to move locations all the time and stuff. It's like, you know, my ability to sort of like repair and heal and just like, like let things, I don't know. It's like I could be doing a lot more with less effort, you know? It's like I have to make a lot of effort to get a little bit done. And that's annoying. It's annoying because I'm efficient, you know? Like I like to be productive. I like doing lots of things. So I don't know. And it is interesting though to me, like there's only like one sort of strata of my fans and friends who kind of say stuff to me like that it's too dark or something. Like they're surprised that I am either like this honest or like it feels dark to them to even like look at the world kind of like it just brutally honestly. But to me, I always appreciate knowing the truth and like what I'm working with, and I'm actually am an optimist, but I want to know the truth about where the foundation is and what, you know, it's like, so you have to be willing to look at some hard things. I'm not pointing fingers, I'm not naming names, but I'm just saying it's always boomers. But you guys have a horseshoe jammed up your ass or like whatever. It's like some things maybe were harder for you, but also like you got to have career jobs and long marriages and houses and like I mean, Gen X, it's a mixed bag of nuts. We've not been able to get much together. Millennials, I mean, they're like, I mean, the lengths they had to go to get their security, but they made damn sure they did. So I don't know what to say about them, but no shade. I'm just saying. I still feel like my generation is waiting for its season. So I don't know. Is that too much? Is this too much? Am I too much? I think I'm doing my job. I don't know why it comes down to generational things so often, but you know, just for the sake of understanding each other and stuff, I think it's sometimes helpful, you know. But like knowing, you know, if you're an only child or a middle child or the youngest child, you know, these sorts of things. It's like each one has different sort of responsibility, right, for holding it down. There's certain dynamics that seem common. So that's what I'm saying, you know, because ultimately you're only going to have what came before to push up against. But I feel like the Gen Xers didn't. Yes, we rebelled, but like we were also very respectful growing up. I think we really carried the torch for our parents' cultural generation. We picked up rock and roll right where they left off. I think a lot of the bands of like the 90s and stuff and the aughts like really show that. And that, I mean, it was kind of the last time we had really great moments, I think, really in rock and roll and stuff and indie rock. Anyway, that's just my feeling, you know. Maybe it's just the kind of music that I grew up with, the kind of music I like, so that's what I'm tuned to, and that's fine. It's plenty. I mean, that's plenty of genre. That could take the rest of my life to get tired of that. Great. But you know, it's like you're holding down a vibe. I mean, I do that. I have a lot of rock and roll baked in, so there's got to be a little bit of that rebellion, you know. A little bit of that sexy, of course. I love making. Sex is one of the greatest things about being a human being, is it not? Really, like one of the top great things about being human is making sweet love.
Qui dentro c'è sta solo